Welcome back. I'm going to be using Winchester 296 powder, which I have set right there on the reloading bench, so I know that's what I'm using. I have already put powder in the hopper, and if you look, I'm using the charging bar that you can get. This will be my first time using that, and like I said, I'm using this as like a single stage press. And what I'm going to do right now is I've got the scale, electronic, mounted here, got the pan. I'll zero this out and I'm going to check the charge. Now I keep my old primers laying around. Took a small pistol primer, put it back in the case there. I'm going to use this case to activate the powder dispenser on the press so I can get the proper charge I want. The loading data that I found on Hodgdon's website was for Hornady inner bond, not interlock bullets, and it calls for 15 grain as a minimum, 16.2 as a max, and it called for a cartridge overall length of 2.24 inches, I think it was. Well, with the 300 Blackout, that actually put, I don't know if I can show you or not, that actually put the bullet about that deep into the case. And several people had told me that you need to seat that down to the cantilever. Well, as watching my other videos, if you've watched, you'd see that the first 15 rounds I shot wouldn't cycle the bolt completely, wouldn't pick up a round. It would reset the trigger but wouldn't pick up the round. So I didn't shoot the last 5 shots. I brought those bullets back and I reseated them to the cantilever, which made the overall cartridge length 2.11 inches. They fit into the magazine fine, and they fit into the rifle fine, and the rifle worked flawlessly, no problem. So I may up this to a 15.4 grain, 15.6, somewhere in there, so I can try them out. But like I said, I put a primer back in this one just for using this as a catch of the powder, see how far it fills the case, check the weight, make sure I got the right grains, make any adjustments I need to the hopper. So I'm going to try here and see what happens. I'll first get the scale going. It has to be warm, and so it'll read correctly. If it'll stay on. Can't believe I need batteries already. There we go. Put the pan on. Okay, take it off. Put it back on, see if it reads 0. And it does. So I'm going to get my first charge. See what this comes out to. Ooh, that's too much powder. It comes out to 17.2 grains. So, take it back up so I can empty that. Yep, can't adjust it yet. It's my first time using this, so I don't know exactly how to adjust. Dump that one back in the hopper, and I'll check what this charge was, because I tapped the hopper a couple of times. $16.6, that's too much. So I need to adjust. have to cycle it a couple times to get this powder out. See what that one reads. $14.8. Now let me get another charge. Tuck this one back in. $14.8. That's not what I want, so open this hole up just a little bit. Of course, this next charge won't be right, I don't think. I will check it. Well, that one came out 15.4. That might be what I'll go with if I can get the next few to read the same. $15.4. We usually do this about 3 times, sometimes 4. That one came out 15.2. I'm going to stop here until I get this thing set. Okay, I've got the powder set. It gives me a 15.4 charge, pretty constant. Now what I've got to do is prime each one of these, and I do that by hand. You all seen that. I mean, you've seen plenty of videos. I'll put the primers in here and I'll seat all these by my thumb, get the primers in. And then I'll charge each case. I'll get a loading block out to set my cases in, and then I'll move over to the bullet seating, and then I'll move over to the roll crimp, or not roll crimp, but the factory crimp. So let me get these primed, and then I'll get to the next process. Okay, here I am doing the last 2. This will give me 20 rounds. Primers in or flush. Got 2, 4. I got 6 more primers in here. I got 4 cases left, but I'm going to load up a total of 50 here soon. So I'm going to set these primers aside for right now, because I'm just going to do the 20 cases for now. And as you can see, I've got them here in the tray, and I do each one at a time. Now this first charge I am going to check, so I need to get the scales back out here. Make sure I don't overcharge the first round, where I've bumped around on the press and so forth. Okay. Tear out the pan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and charge this case. I'm going to check it. See, that one came out 15.8. And that's where I was bumping around on the press. So, come out 15.8. I don't want to be too close to that maximum charge. There we go, 15.4. I'll do it one more time. Okay, up that charge. And I should have used a funnel. But there's the first one. Okay. I will check the next one just for the heck of it. Okay, and I do have the funnel here. Put the funnel on. Makes life a whole lot easier. I know working with this charge, I'm very close to the maximum. I don't want to get to the maximum or get an overcharge, over the maximum. Okay. So you'll have to forgive me if I sit here and check each one of these as I load it. Once I'm comfortable with seeing that I'm getting the exact same amount every time, then I don't mind not weighing every one of them. I usually weigh about every 10th round to see if I'm staying where I should. And that's the whole thing about reloading. It is a, I don't like that one. Now if you want good, accurate rounds, you got to be precise. Getting the right amount of powder is what you want. You want to try to have everything to be equal. Want everything to be equal. And I said I had this at 15.4. These are all coming out 15.6. That's the reason why like I said, I'm being real cautious here with the charge that I'm loading. There's not room for a lot of error, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to overcharge. I don't want too hot of a round. See, I'm not happy with that one. Not happy at all. So, and I'd probably do better if I used my RCBS 505 scale on checking these instead of a digital scale. Temperatures has a lot of effect on scales, but on digital scales. Okay, 15.6. But that's the process you see me going through here, charging each one. So when I get to the bullet seating, I'll be back. Okay, I'm doing the last one right now. Check it. Every one of these will be in 15.6 grains. This one looks like it's a little shy. You know, they're within 2 grains plus or minus, but like I said, trying to do an accurate cartridge, you want it to be the same. That one's 15.6. So all these now are 15.6 grains of powder. Now that I'm done with the powder, I'll rotate this over to the bullet seeding. Get the stuff in here out of the way, get the bullets. Now I have to use calibers here, but turn this around, start here in the front. This should seat right to the cantilever, and it does, as you can see. And I'll set this over here till I go to the factory cramp, but I was also going to show you, if you look down, let me make this light come on. There we go. If you look down in each one of those cases, you can see they're all filled to about the same spot when it comes to powder. So everything should shoot just fine. I should get a good grouping and everything. So we'll do the next one here. That one needed to go just a little bit deeper. Yeah, that's fine. Do the next one here. Not all bullets are created equal. I'll measure these before I factory crimp them just to make sure they're all to that 2.11 that I tested Sunday, since that seemed to work fine. Now my hopes are to be able to load a 150 grain nozzler ballistic tip. That's what I use in my 30-06 and my 308 to deer hunt with. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. But this is the process of doing this. So you're seeing enough of this, I will stop the video, and when I get about done to go to factory crimp, I'll turn it back on. Okay, I'm on the last two, so hopefully I'll get this done and you can see what the measurements are. My camera's showing signs of battery dying, so I hope this is being recorded. Okay, that was the last one. Okay, let me back out and get a measurement here before the camera dies. Should be 2.11. These are 2.12, so that's telling me that I could probably go with that, but I know the 2.11 worked for me so I may have to readjust. Okay, I've got all those down to 2.11, so you can see. Turn the light on. As you can see, I got 20 rounds. Okay, now, whoops. Now I'm going to rotate to the factory crimp. And you'll see, I put the factory crimp on. I'll do that to every one of these. Sometimes people will crimp them twice. What they do is they run it up, bring it part of the way down, turn it about a quarter of a turn, and crimp it again. And I don't know if you'll see this or not. Generally what that does, gives you a smooth round crimp without the little 4 marks on it. But that is the crimp that I do to these. Now let's see here. So I'm trying to see if you can see me. Turn the light back on. I want you to see if you can see those marks from a factory crimp. There's usually 4 little lines, and when you turn it that quarter of a turn, you get rid of them. I don't know if you can see it there or not. But if you've used the Lee factory crimp die, you know what I'm talking about. But these will be ready to shoot in the 300 Blackout. So I've walked you through the whole stage of taking a 223 case, cut it down, trim it, size it, trim it again, deburr it, chamfer it, whatever you want to call it, inside and out, clean the primer pocket, and then charge it with powder, and checking each charge. Like I said, I'm working with a charge, the minimum is 15 and the max is 16.2. So I've loaded these to 15.6. So I'm sort of in the middle of the charge, but I wanted to check each and every one. That's what made this video just a little bit longer. It took me a little bit longer to load these. It's because I was checking each charge to make sure it's right. And now I should have 20 rounds, which is a magazine full, to go out and shoot. But I will be loading up another 50 rounds to do some shooting with, check my scope settings and everything, make sure they're right. But that's 300 Blackout. That's a .308 caliber bullet, soft point, 150 grain, Hornady interlock, not interbond, interlock, with 223 cases that I cut, trim, size from 5.56. So that's how you do it. Like I said, I know there's tons of videos out there on cutting, trimming 5.56 223 brass down to 300 Blackout and how to size it and everything. But I've had some of my subscribers that asked, and some of my Facebook followers, to ask me to do a video showing how it's done. So I've done it, and that's all there is. Thank you for watching. Until next time.